Welcome to the Productive Life Podcast. In this episode, I'm sharing what my current weekly schedule looks like as of March 2020. Welcome to the Productive Life Podcast hosted by me, Megan Minns. This is the podcast for entrepreneurs who want to be more productive in their business and their personal life. Because as a business owner, your business and personal life are connected, and we can't talk about one without talking about the other. Each week, you'll learn about productivity, organization, personal development, self-care, business strategies, and more. And now, let's get started. I am currently sitting in my office recording these episodes on a Tuesday afternoon, and I am so excited to share with you what my weekly schedule looks like as of March 2020. I geek out over seeing what other people are doing or hearing or learning what they're doing on a weekly basis because I think we all work pretty differently, and sometimes people love having structure and sometimes people hate having structure. And what's been really funny in my work with clients one-on-one inside of intuitive execution and just over the years of having a business and working with other business owners is I've often found that so many CEOs, business owners, creative, visionary people feel like structure is bad and like it will hold them back. They feel like they're too creative for structure. And the hard truth is that you are letting that story hold you back because the truth is that structure actually gives you power. It gives you more time. It gives you more focus. And it is one of the best things you can do, not only for your business, but for you as an individual to live the life you want to live. Because structure doesn't mean we are restricted in what we do. It just means we have some containers so that we can leverage the time we have. We can get the most out of every single minute that we want to because we have a little bit of a container around it so that we get things done. We actually cross things off our to-do list, we move things forward, and we actually end up living our life day to day in a way that is what we've always wanted because that's why you started a business, right? I'm not sure I know a single business owner who started their business because they wanted less freedom or they didn't care about how they spent their time. Pretty much all of us, maybe there's other reasons, but I think a big factor in why someone starts a business is because you want control over your time. And if you don't have any structure in place, you have actually no control over your time because you are reactive and you are at the mercy of other people and their requests. So this is the best thing you can do for yourself is to have your weekly schedule. So hopefully hearing mine will kind of inspire you for what is possible and how you could possibly have a weekly schedule and structure it as well. Now, even if you already have a weekly schedule, I still think hearing mine might be really helpful for you. So either way, I'm excited to share what mine looks like. And I would love to hear from you on Instagram stories, or if you're watching this episode on YouTube, I would love to hear from you in a comment or send my team an email. Any and all, just reach out and let me know if this episode was helpful and what your weekly schedule looks like. I'm very curious to hear. So I do have themes for each day of my week, and that is kind of the highest level of structure. I do have some blocked out times, which I'll get into as I go into each day, but overall, I do have a theme for what's happening each day, and that has been the easiest, simplest way to get started is to kind of theme out your days like that. Okay, so on Monday, I do very little task work. I really like to work about 4 days a week, maybe closer to 3. I would say mostly 3 days a week. And Monday is kind of like a half day, if you will. I like to spend Mondays kind of however I need to in the morning. So sometimes that'll be sleeping in, sometimes that'll be taking care of personal stuff, or my ideal is that I spend Monday morning doing personal development and planning the week. I like Monday. The energy I always have is a little bit more planning, visionary, big picture, personal development. So I'll usually spend the morning doing some kind of planning for the week and checking in on how the money is looking, any kind of personal reports I'm pulling, and getting ready for my team meeting that is Monday right after lunch. That's where we are looking at the week ahead, reflecting on the week before, and that's our weekly team meeting. So that's like mostly what is happening on Monday. As long as I've planned the week and have the team meeting, like I can consider Monday a win. Outside of that, I would usually like to spend my afternoons doing personal development. Sometimes if a big strategic conversation came up during the team meeting, I might spend Monday afternoon kind of doing some high-level visionary, strategic decision making, that fun stuff. So Monday's a little bit of a flexible day, but overall, it's definitely a team meeting. It's definitely preparing for the week and doing some kind of personal development. Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday are definitely like my hardcore focused work days. So Tuesday and Thursday are as simple as that. That is focused work. Tuesday is largely a growth focused day. So if I'm creating a podcast episode like this, doing a podcast batch, recording videos, doing a webinar, I like to do all that big stuff Tuesdays. It's kind of like my heavy, not even just content creation, but my creation day, my showing up live. I pretty consistently have good energy on Tuesdays. So that's kind of like my day to go all in on anything that is a little bit more high energy that's not coaching. So Tuesday is focused work as much as possible, and usually around growth, marketing, lead generation, sales, that type of thing. That's kind of it. So like the nuances of every Tuesday will look different depending on what's happening. I'm currently testing this is my first podcast batch back into the swing of things. And so my plan is to experiment with maybe the first Tuesday of every month doing a podcast batch. So we'll kind of see if that rhythm is working well for me or not. But for now, Tuesdays are usually a focused work day. Wednesdays are my call day. So I do one-on-one coaching calls. I do guest trainings in other people's programs. I do coaching calls for my programs. Those are always on Wednesdays. It's just my call day. I know that I have no expectation of getting any actual tasks done on Wednesday. It's exclusively call day. So as much as humanly possible, I do any kind of call I can on a Wednesday. Thursday is also a focused work day. This is a lot more administrative, wrapping up things from the week, filling in any gaps I need to. I am currently experimenting with maybe doing interviews on Thursdays, but I'm really trying to keep as many calls as possible on Wednesdays so that I don't have to necessarily be in that like call state of mind. So Thursdays are a little bit all over the place, but they're my focused work day. I definitely am doing like tasks and project work on Thursdays. Friday is like my day off. It's usually when I have personal appointments. So the dentist, eye doctor, hair appointments, nail appointments, anything and everything. I'm scheduling those things on Fridays. And I just love doing that. It makes Friday feel even more delightful, and it will be a flexible day. That's kind of the name of the game I just want to share for this whole schedule is that if I'm ever in a state of like inspired action, like I'm so inspired to write something, I'm so inspired to do something in the business, I will let myself do that in moments of inspiration. I often find though that Fridays truly are like a personal day, and I feel like that's been working really well for me doing errands, getting those appointments done when people aren't necessarily always running errands. All that's really nice. So yeah, Saturday and Sundays kind of have their own theme, definitely a little bit less structure around them, but loosely on Saturdays, I am relaxing. That's usually when Johnny and I have no plans and we're just like chilling, super slow morning, sleeping in. And then sometime around Saturday afternoon, I will do some meal planning and I'll order our groceries from Instacart and doing that kind of stuff on Saturday. But man, some of my favorite Saturdays, all I do is plan our meals and order our groceries and just lounge the whole day. I just love to rest. I'm a Pisces, and I don't know if you care about zodiac signs at all, but I align with mine really well. And so I just like to sleep. I'm also an Enneagram 9. And so if you guys ever see any of those infographics on Instagram that's like Enneagram 9 on the weekend, it always says something about sleep. That and Pisces. So like I definitely am sleeping as much as possible. I'm resting and lounging and just like relaxing at home. It's my happy place. So that's mostly what Saturdays usually are. You know, we'll probably have plans in the evening, but during the day, it's just resting and maybe getting some groceries. Sunday is a little bit more like Johnny and I both are kind of in a little bit more of like a get ready for the week. So we'll usually clean up the house, organize some stuff. If we have any house projects, those are usually happening on Sundays. Any kind of meal prep I'll do on Sundays if we've got like groceries that we need to cook for the week. And I like to plan my week, at least broad strokes, on Sunday. So yeah, that's kind of it. That's what my week schedule looks like right now. I wouldn't say it's dramatically different from how my weekly schedule looked even back in May, except I would say I used to have calls more like regularly throughout the week, and I've really concentrated those to one day a week. And I think one thing I'm still working on is carving out that personal development time. Since, as you heard, Monday is a little bit more fluid, it's been a little bit difficult for me the past couple of months to carve out time for personal development. And personal development is something that is truly important to me in the business, not because I should keep learning, but because it really inspires me. And I've noticed a direct correlation when I am learning, even if it's from a podcast or a book or a course. When I'm making time to learn, I am more inspired. I have new, fresh ideas. I get more excited to do my own thing in my business. And so there is a correlation there for me. And I also love to teach what I learn. So there's a huge trend there for me. And I notice that when I am actively learning, it's really easy for me to sit down and record a podcast or share an Instagram story. And when I stop learning, that becomes harder. So I am still working on that. Like to be super transparent. One of the things I'm working on is, maybe making the Monday afternoon a little bit more of like, this is personal development time. Like, let's actually carve out time for that. And building that in a more solid way on Mondays. And the other thing that I am working on, like I mentioned earlier, is maybe having like themes for the week on a monthly scale. So like the first Tuesday of every month, I record the podcasts. I think for some of the big things we do on a recurring basis, that can be really helpful. So I'm really experimenting with that stuff right now. So I'll, of course, keep you updated if any of that really helps me, if it makes a huge difference. And if it doesn't, then I'll just keep experimenting. So we'll see how it goes. But this structure, I would say the big takeaways for you is having this super clear theme that like I tell my team that they should only assign me tasks on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and they know that. So no one's expecting me to answer an administrative question on a Wednesday when I'm in back-to-back calls, on a Friday, Saturday, Sunday, or Monday. Like that's not where my head is at. So we all know to only assign me tasks on Tuesdays and Thursdays, which is really, really nice because that means Tuesdays and Thursdays are just like head down, stay focused, get stuff done, and I don't have to get distracted by calls or personal appointments. So that's been really helpful for me. And also instigating the all team meeting on Mondays at a consistent time every week has also been really helpful for us to just sync up at a single time, get any questions we already know we have, get clear on our priorities for the week, and do any kind of strategy that we need to at the very beginning of the week has been really helpful. And consolidating personal appointments to one day as well. So those are some of the things that I've really enjoyed about my schedule. So those are also some of the things I'm working on as well. So as you can see, it's not about being perfect. It's not like there's one perfect schedule and everything else sucks. It is kind of always fluid and changing as the business priorities change, and as my personal priorities change, my schedule changes as well. So when I was going through a lot of intense fertility treatments, my schedule looked a little easier, a little lighter than this. When I'm in a season of a launch or I have more energy to put into the business, I might end up working, 4 full days a week or 5 full days a week. But it's kind of evolving based on what's happening, what my priorities are, and what I want my life to look like during this season. So it's really helpful to have that boundary, have that clarity, and be able to communicate that to my team as well so they can help me do that, help me make this my reality. So that's my weekly schedule. If you are interested in learning how to achieve your goals while working less, if working 3 or 4 days a week is something you're interested in, but you still want to have fun, you want to get work done, you want to hit your goals, then I would love for you to check out my free masterclass, How to Achieve Your Goals While Having More Fun and Working Less. You can go check that out at meganmins.com/training. And if you're really interested in some high-level support around creating things like your weekly schedule, your personal goals, your mindset, and building the business, running the business, the systems, the structures, the team meetings, hiring the team, managing the team, all of that wonderful stuff that goes on behind the scenes of running a successful business, then I would love for you to check out my new high-level group coaching program. At the time of this episode, it may still be a wait list, but there may also be an application. So you can go to meganmins.com/apply to get the most up-to-date information. So either you can join the wait list to find out more about the program when it goes live, or you can apply if the application is live. So I would love to work with you in the high-level group program if it's a fit. But either way, you should definitely check out that free training if you're interested at meganmins.com/training. Hope you enjoyed this episode. Again, would love to hear from you either in the comments or on Instagram stories about if this was helpful, what your takeaways were, what your weekly schedule looks like, and just let me know if you have any questions or if there's anything I can do to support you around creating your weekly schedule. I will talk to you in the next episode. Thank you for listening to the Productive Life Podcast. If you enjoyed today's episode, it would mean so much to me if you would share your biggest takeaway on your Instagram stories or wherever you hang out. This helps me understand what you find the most helpful so that I can make more episodes and resources like this. If this podcast has helped you at all, please take just 1 minute to leave a review on iTunes so that we can help spread the word about the Productive Life Podcast with others who may enjoy it. And last but not least, don't forget to subscribe to the podcast to get the latest episodes sent to you directly. To learn how to work with me one-on-one or get instant access to freebies, trainings, templates, workshops, and more, be sure to go to meganmins.com right now. I'll see you in the next episode.